Hello, and welcome back to the Heart Artistry Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about content. And particularly if you find content to feel challenging right now for any myriad of reasons, we are going to shift that in this episode. So keep listening. We're going to shift your experience with content, your energy around content, to attract those ready to buy clients, those high ticket, high quality clients that are your best clients who are ready to drop thousands of dollars to work with you right now. So let's get into it. I want to start off with why content can sometimes feel so challenging. You may already be aware of this. I'm sure that most of you are. There are a lot of different factors that come into it. So I'm going to break down a couple of different things that I've seen from my clients. And if this is you, let me know. You can clock it in your brain as you're listening. And the more awareness that you have around, honestly, a lot of different noise around content, the more that you can be intentional, conscious about how you want to show up with your content and how you want it to look and feel differently for you. Okay, so I'm going to go into a couple reasons why I believe content can feel challenging and how we can go into different slumps in our content or just go through periods where it just feels very different. Like if you are someone that you've been on a high with your content, or maybe content has always felt like a bit of a challenge, this is going to feel validating, and it's also going to help you understand why you might be feeling this way. So one of the first reasons is that there are a lot of rules around how content should look, right? This is kind of like what you see online through content experts, gurus, different types of content coaches, or social media experts and gurus. So we are and have consumed a lot of different rules based on content, especially if you've been around for a while on social media, if you've either been in business for X amount of years, or maybe you were a content creator before. I was a content creator before I started my business, so I was inundated with all the content. And in fact, when I started my business, most of you know this, I was a social media coach. So not only did I consume it, I was teaching it, and there were all of these trends that I kept up with, honestly, through the algorithm, at least in terms of like knowing what they were, so that I can teach, my way of doing things with social media, with posting content. I even created this rule. It was called the 30-30 rule, where you were engaging on social media for 30 minutes before and after you post. Oh my goodness, I know, so time consuming. But that's what I taught back in like 2019, right? And that was the thing. It was like hashtags. I taught hashtag research. There were certain ways that I hacked the hashtag game, and my posts would average thousands of likes every single time. And then I did the same thing for my clients, and they would go viral. It was a lot of like technical understanding of the algorithm that I had back then. And the algorithm has changed so much since then. So if you've been on Instagram for several years, you have seen this, you've seen content around it. And there are a lot of rules that we consume based on how we think content needs to look based on this type of content, essentially. So you might see content like, these are the hooks that you need to use in your caption, or these are the keywords that you need to use in your caption, or this is how you structure the call to action inside your content at the end of the post, or here's the type of content you should be posting if you are blank, 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 right? So there are these rules around posting. There's the rules around the algorithm, right? Do this, don't do this. Post at this time, don't post at this time. Post one time a day. Post reels instead of static posts. Engage with X amount of people and leave a valuable comment, right? The list goes on. And then beyond that, we as mentors, guides, service providers, and leaders, we want to reach our people. Right? This is why we fall into a bit of a content rabbit hole sometimes, like the content about content rabbit hole. So we love our work. We're so passionate about it. We want to reach the right people. We want to make sure the right people are seeing our work, right? We don't want to feel like we're screaming into the void when we're posting on Instagram. I completely get that, right? We have this deep connection. I always see it as, the way I say it to my clients is, it's an expression of your soul's purpose. So your business is an expression. It's like one expression of your purpose. And that's really why I rebranded my brand to Heart Artistry. This is the artistry of your heart, right? Your heart, your purpose, your like what you're naturally drawn to, your unique abilities, your magic. So we are so connected to the work we're doing. We love our clients so much and we care so much about them that when someone is presenting us these rules to connect with clients, and over time, when we're inundated with these rules, especially when they come from people who've made a lot of money, who are very successful in their business, we tend to listen. We listen to these people because we want to do well. We want our business to do well, and we want to attract those correct clients into our spaces. So that's one form of consuming this kind of content, these kinds of rules. And even if you aren't seeing these specific rules, maybe you don't follow any content gurus or experts, or you don't see that kind of content online, which, by the way, this is your sign to flesh out your feed in the way that you desire for it to be set up. So if you are seeing content that is not serving you and you know that this is just it's not helpful, it's not supportive, unfollow, mute, do what you need to do to curate a feed that is going to support you in your highest journey, right? Your wealthiest, most successful version of yourself. So even if you aren't seeing these specific rules, you may see someone that you're following that they're constantly posting reels, right? And they're constantly showing up in a specific way, and you can tell it's working for them, right? So you might have the thought of like, oh, should I be posting more reels? Should I be posting trial reels? Should I always have a new video up, right? Or if someone is constantly going live and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, do I need to go on live more, right? But that kind of terrifies you a little bit to go on live. So then there's like the shame and the guilt spiral of like, oh, I haven't been doing what I should be doing. Maybe I'm behind. Maybe I should catch up, rather than, really thinking about what would be supportive for your audience, because you're focused on all of these emotions and trying to do it right and trying to get it right. And a lot of this, especially for us as women and women of color, comes from this conditioning of getting the homework right, getting a good grade, following the instructions. If you follow the instructions, then you will do well. If you get good grades, if you get into a good school, you'll get a good job. If you get a good job, then you'll be set up and you'll make good money, right? It's this very kind of linear pathway that we've been taught, again, especially as women of color, but for other individuals as well. This is a pattern that we have really seen and that we've been conditioned by from a really young age. So when it comes to our business and it comes to content specifically, we feel like, well, there must be some kind of framework. I should listen to this person who's hacked it and has made a lot of money doing it in this way, right? And the thing is that these people that are sharing these rules and these frameworks, they're not wrong. Like they're not wrong. There isn't anything wrong with what they're saying. They are not, there's nothing incorrect necessarily, but it's more so what feels in alignment with you, right? Because again, as women of color, we have been taught to go against our own intuition, to listen to the quote unquote right way of doing things. Right. So I know when I was growing up and going to school, I didn't love school. I know most of us didn't, but didn't love school, did it anyway, of course, because just felt like a really terrible thing to go against my parents, and did my best to get good grades. I didn't really get great grades in school either. But as I grew older, I was really drawn to more of the creative arts, the writing, right? Like I loved that. I loved to write. I loved to immerse myself in the arts. And there was always this narrative for me growing up personally that I wasn't going to make any money, that it was going to be really challenging. It was going to be really hard. So I should just stick to something that I know, or that I'm good at, learn that instead, and really just not listen to my intuition, not listen to my magic. And I think that comes up in business and in entrepreneurship for us as we, go into this work, into our purpose work. We're still looking at, is there a better way to do this? Is there somebody else here that can tell me what to do and tell me what direction to take? versus listening to my own intuition, because that feels too scary. And what if I'm wrong? What if I make a wrong move, right? That feels really detrimental. It feels like a really high risk experience. And for women of color, for children of immigrants, we have been taught to not really take that bigger, risky decision and behavior, because that just seems like much more high stakes. So understanding this, knowing this, will help you understand the behavior in which you create your content. And I like focusing a lot on content because I see it as the main bridge that your clients will experience before they enter your world. So before they get on a private coaching call with you, before they join your incredible programs and offers, all they see is your content. I've given the example of your work being something that happens inside the home, but in order for them to even get into the home, they have to pass through the gates and the driveway. That's all they see at first. When someone comes to your page, when they first find you, when they first follow you, they are connecting to your content first and foremost. And so that means, it doesn't mean that your content has to be perfect. It means that it has to be anchored and aligned to you, your brand, and who you are. And that's extremely important, because when you can see and understand that, the frequency, the identity you bring into your content is felt. There's a level of resonance. I always say that your content isn't just read, it is felt by your clients. It's not just about the words that are on the screen, it's also how they feel when they're reading them. And that comes from your frequency, it comes from your identity, it comes from your level of conviction in what you're saying, right? Something can fall flat, but sound really good. And it sounds like the right thing to say, like it sounds good on paper, right? But it's not actually something that you're convicted in, or that's not the kind of content that you want to create, or you're watering down your voice because you think it needs to sound a certain way. So what I really want to focus on inside this episode, and really what we're focusing on in my world right now with my new program, Content and Cash Codes, is shifting the coding, shifting the way that you feel and the way that you see your work, the way that you experience your content, and also how you write your content. So it's both the energetic frequency and identity, and then bringing that into the practical how you write content that represents and expresses your true authentic voice. It's not watered down. It is not it doesn't sound like anybody else, right? It's not a framework. It's not content prompts. It is not somebody else, telling you how to plug and play content into your work and posting it as yours. It is you being fully convicted in what you are saying, because that is what creates that level of oomph, that level of power, that level of fire in your content that then creates that resonance with the people who are receiving it. Okay, so before I jump deeper in, the last thing I want to say around content that you may be consuming and really where you are right now, especially if you're listening to this podcast, you're likely an intuitive coach, you're a guide, you're a mentor, you are a leader in some capacity, right? You love your work, like we mentioned. This is your heart's artistry. This is your movement. So when we do, I find that I've seen this pattern in some of my clients, is when you start to wobble a little bit and you start to get a little bit unsure about your methods, and you're not seeing the results that you desire more so. So you start to get a little wobbly in the way you're doing things because your results aren't showing up, or they're not showing up in the time frame that you desire. So when they're not showing up in the time frame you desire, and your brain makes it mean that something's gone wrong, or that you need to change something, or that you need to implement a different strategy, then what happens is sometimes we put all of this weight into following a specific strategy and enacting a very specific formula because, again, we've been told that that's what brings in clients. We have seen other people doing it, right? So it becomes this experience of trying to get it, quote unquote, right. So we're putting all this weight And I want to paint this picture because it's really important to understand what's happening here and how quickly sometimes our brain defaults to this setting. This is a pattern that I've seen in myself when I was first starting my business, as well as in my clients. I've seen this show up in different aspects of this work. So when you're putting all of that weight into a specific strategy, a specific formula, because that is what brings in clients, right? We're trying to get it correct. It's kind of like if you were in a play and you're working so hard to memorize your lines and repeat your lines in the play that you forget about the feeling, you forget about the emotions, you forget about bringing that energy of the character to life, right? So someone can get quote unquote like an A+ and do the motions and repeat the lines, right? And you do the things, you get in costume, you act, you say the lines when you're supposed to say them, but what really creates a noteworthy performance that people win awards for is when you're breathing life into that character. You're embodying it. It's a literal showstopper, right? It creates an encore. It creates incredible reviews from everyone. People want to watch and rewatch the show again and again and again. That's the energetics. It's going above and beyond just what you're meant to do. And that's the same thing with content. It's not just about the words you're saying. It's about how you're feeling as you're saying it, who you're being as you're saying it. And that's exactly what I'm teaching inside Content and Cash Codes. I explained on a recent call that it's like creating an incredible drink. Like the most amazing drink, like it's your tried and true signature recipe. Like your drinks love it. They ask you to make it all the time. It's incredible. Like you've tested it and again and again and again, and everyone loves it. Like it's made with love. You love it. Your friends love it. You always make this drink whenever your friends come over, right? And you pour that drink into a pitcher. But no matter what glass you end up pouring it into to serve your friends, it doesn't matter because the drink itself is incredible. It's delicious. People come to your parties just to try that drink. Like it's so good. So regardless of if you pour that drink into a shot glass, a martini glass, a beer glass, a regular cup, a bowl, it doesn't matter. People want to drink it because of what's inside. So whatever container you pour it in, it's not going to shift the deliciousness of the drink. It just ends up being the container it's held in. Right? And so this is also why I believe like it's not like stories are better or Instagram is better or TikTok is better or reels are better than lives or static posts are better than whatever. Like you get to believe, right? You get to code your content into believing that whatever you have genuine conviction in, that is the outlet in which you choose to share it. And because your level of conviction is so powerful, like you are essentially, like you're so convicted in what you're saying, you decide that when you go and share something, you decide that you have full conviction. You say it full and proud and with your whole chest, and you are in full conviction of what you're saying. So it lands with your audience. There's a difference when you say something fully at full energy because you've decided that you believe in what you're saying and you're anchored in it versus you're not sure, you're second guessing yourself, you're kind of back and forth, you're in and out, your energy's kind of wobbly. Your clients can feel that too. And when they feel it, it normally comes out as, I don't have the money right now. Or, I'm not sure. Let me go talk to someone first. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Right? That's how it comes out when they experience that from us. So we're shifting it to speak. We're shifting our energy when we're speaking. And we're specifically speaking to those clients that are ready to buy now. So what I focus on with my clients and what I do in my own work is I directly broadcast all of my content, any of my content, to my most aligned and optimal clients. These are clients that are all in, they are self-led, they take initiative, they're already taking action, and they already see the value of my work. They already resonate with my work. They already get what I'm saying and it lands. Right? You are one of these people. Like you get what I'm saying. It just lands with you. I don't have to go out of my way to explain it. In fact, that would probably turn you off, right? You're already bought in. You're excited to do this work together. So you're speaking to the people who are on the verge of saying yes. And every single post, every single training, every single episode, every single live stream, they get closer and closer to saying yes and buying from you. And when you create content in this way, you end up speaking and creating a direct dialogue to those people specifically who are ready to buy from you. You're collapsing time between them desiring to work with you and you saying, yes, I'm in. Okay. So that is the direct broadcasting and intentionally speaking to your most aligned, best fit clients, like your dreamiest clients. They're ready to drop thousands of dollars to work with you. They're ready to move now. There's not a lot of back and forth. They don't even need to really have a full-on conversation with you. You're so excited to work with them. They're so excited to work with you. They're already bought in. And this is a certain kind of content. It's a unique kind of content. The content that you write to someone that you're trying to get versus the content you're writing to someone who's already bought in and doesn't need to be gotten is a different kind of content. Okay. Plus, what we said earlier, this content is already coded with that conviction, that frequency, who you're being, your most powerful thoughts, your most powerful energetics around what you're saying and around yourself and your work. So the way that I approach this is what I'm saying to my clients and how I'm feeling about my clients, about my work, about myself, like that gets infused before, during, and after the content. And as I'm sharing that content, my clients experience it even after it's being published, before it's being published, while it's being created. I am in that frequency. And so when my clients experience it, there's a level of resonance. My clients are listening, they're viewing, they hold that power, they hold that frequency, right? Or they receive that frequency, we hold the power. So when you are moving into creating content from here on out, because now it's a different experience than you before this episode, right? I want you to think about your frequency. I want you to think about your identity going into the creation and the posting, and even after you've posted the content. And how many times have you created content, but then you drop the ball on holding the power, right? Or maybe you posted content, but then energetically you told yourselves, I don't think anyone else is going to buy from this, right? Or like, it's been a couple days, maybe a couple people have jumped in. I think that's it. I think everyone who's already would have bought has already bought, right? So we pull the plug because sometimes it feels harder to hold that level of power. Sometimes it feels harder because we want to protect ourselves from rejection and disappointment. So we end up pulling the plug, right? We pull out early and we just decide that, well, that was it. Nobody else wants it. Or like we've quote unquote used up all the people that are interested, right? Our brain likes to tell us these lies. And then what we do from that place is we start to feel a little wobbly. And then we lean on, what are the strategies? What can I do? What are the frameworks? Pushing, desperation, trying to quote unquote get clients. And we start looking up what are the best hooks to use? What are the best keywords to use? We get into this really graspy desperation energy. And we put the weight on the strategy because it frankly just feels easier to put out some proven strategy, some proven framework, some proven prompt that someone else is teaching online than to hold the power. So then we release the power. And it's not that the strategy doesn't work. You can use the exact same strategy and hold the power and hold the frequency as long as it's in alignment with you. Any strategy works. But if you're tapping out on your own energetics and then trying to slap a strategy on top of it, hoping that the strategy will do the work for you, but you can't even hold the power, then nothing works. None of it works. So can you learn to hold the power and sit in it and lean in, feel your feelings, process your emotions? Yes, there might be disappointment. Yes, there might be rejection, but you can hold that. You are strong enough. Connect and anchor back into your frequency. Source that power from within you, even before the results come, even before it's here, even when it isn't here yet. Call in that frequency now. Anchor into that power now before it arrives, not when it arrives. How easy is it to do that? When you create magic money, illogical money, money that doesn't make any sense and shouldn't even exist because it's insane, that is created right here. This is how you create it. You create it by being in the frequency and setting the precedent first, because you are the source. You go first. All right. So after this episode, as you go and create content, I want you to keep all of this in mind. If you want to re-listen to this episode, take notes on this episode. This is here for you. My desire for you is to have a relationship with content that feels fun and exciting. It lights you up. It is an expression of your authentic voice and you speaking to the best people who are ready to move, not safe people that you feel like you should be speaking to because maybe they will be an easier person to say yes to your work. No, I'm talking about the people who are ready to work with you and ready to drop thousands of dollars to be in your world because they see the impact, they see your magic, they feel it. But in order for them to feel it, you have to feel it first. You have to drink your own Kool-Aid. You have to show up in that energy. It's you. You are the leader. You go first. Okay. All right. As we wrap up, in case you missed the last episode, we hit 100,000 downloads on the podcast. Thank you so much. It's been so exciting and surreal to hit this really big milestone for the podcast. And I'm just really, really grateful. So as a gift for every single person who leaves a review, if you send me a screenshot and just send it to me via DMs on Instagram, you can also send it to my email, hello@tiffanychung.co. I created a very special bonus training. It is 33 minutes. It's called Content That Moves Clients to Checkout. I go deep into what it takes to attract those clients who are ready to drop money right now to work with you. I talk about a specific concept that I teach my higher level students, which is the get to get frequency versus the receive to receive frequency. We go deeper into the energetics and identity of holding content and really opening yourself to receive the right people. It is a really incredible training. I'm already getting really incredible responses from it, from those who've left reviews, which thank you, by the way. So you would just go to Apple Podcasts, scroll down, leave a rating and review, take a screenshot of it before you send it, because sometimes when you hit send, it doesn't show up right away. So that way I can see what you wrote and I can thank you for it. And then I will respond with the link to the training, and you can get access to this training for free in exchange for a review in celebration of 100,000 downloads on the podcast. And just a really big thank you and a hug from me. It just means so much to me. And I'm so grateful for all of you, whether you just found this podcast or you've been listening for a really long time, somewhere in between that. I am so grateful. I really love podcasting. It is so much fun for me, and the messages I get from you all after listening just make my heart so warm. There's something about getting DMs from those that are listening to the podcast, and if you're sharing a win, you're sharing a breakthrough, there's just something special about those kinds of messages. So please keep them coming. I respond to all of my DMs, and it means a lot to me to hear from you all. So I am so grateful. The last thing I am going to invite you into is my brand new program, which is Content and Cash Codes. This is my brand new program. This is my brand new content, energetics, cash, clients, and codes program. This is a program I've been building for quite some time in the back end. The idea initially came through late last year, and I knew that I had to move on it. This program goes into creating content that lands with your most aligned clients and creating this like running to checkout, running to your DMs kind of experience. Like I want them to feel like they're like banging down the door of your DMs going like, hey, send me the link. Send me the link. I'm in. Take my money. Like it's so funny. Once I shifted these codes for myself a couple years ago, I actually attracted clients that said the words take my money. I'd never heard something like that before. I think I might have said that like when I'm like, oh my God, take my money. Like I would say it like kind of as a joke if there's something I know I'm going to buy or something I'm obsessed with. But I actually attracted clients that said, take my money. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to shift the codes in your content to receive clients. Okay, so that's exactly what this is about. It's content codes, it's cash codes. This is you attracting the right clients, okay? Just like I talked about in this episode, you're not speaking to the people who you feel like are safe or you think that will just say yes. You're speaking to the people who are ready to receive your work. They're excited to work with you. They're ready to drop thousands of dollars. So this program is all about turning those followers, those viewers, those lurkers online into paid clients that end up not just entering your world for one offer, but they stay in your world long term. They re-sign with you. They spend years with you. You're their mentor. You're their mentor for life, right? They love you. These are the best kinds of clients. Like one client can enter your world and spend 6 figures with you because they keep buying everything and they keep re-signing and they end up staying with you long term. They rise to your highest level offer, your close proximity offer. That's really what makes a big difference in our business. So I'm going to be teaching you how to create content, how to show up energetically and frequency wise to hold the identity of your content, as well as practically how to create and post the content, what to be thinking about when you're creating content to make it land so that it is clear, so that it is potent, so that your clients are like, yep, they rate it, they're ready to move. Okay. So we're talking about attracting those self-led, high-level, ambitious clients that you get to magnetize through your content specifically. We're also talking about the codes to receiving cash through your content. And essentially after this program, you're going to learn how to create money every single time you post. It's not going to be like I don't know, I'm not sure. Sometimes the money comes through and I'm really excited when it does, but sometimes it doesn't and I'm not sure why. None of that. After this program, you're going to know exactly how to create cash through your content. You're going to know exactly how to attract clients through your content. You're going to, when you want to sign a client, when you want to make money, snap your fingers. You know how to do it. You know how to create content. You know how to show up. You know how to say what to say. And you know how to be identity-wise, frequency-wise in your content on social media. Okay, so this is the program where we're diving deep and we are doing this together across 4 modules. Right now, the investment as at the time of recording is at $555. It will jump to $777 in a week. Okay, so if you are jumping in before January 30th, you have the opportunity to get in at $555. After that, it's going to be at $777. If you want to jump in, there is the $555 in full. You are also able to do a 2-month payment plan. So that means 1 payment now and then 1 payment in 30 days. And that's at $299. So $299 for the first payment and then $299 a month from now. And you will get lifetime access to this program. The link is in the show notes. If you have any questions, you can always DM me at tiffanychung.co. I will answer any questions that you have. If you want a payment plan, you can reach out for that as well. And hopefully see you inside Content and Cash Codes. And I will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you. And I'll talk to you very soon.